In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how you can get started dropshipping in just 7 easy steps. Now, this is going to be a quick start guide, but if you want more details into any one of these different steps or any of the different platforms that I'm going to be talking about today, then after this video, you can check out some of the other ones that we have that are going to be more dedicated. But this video is going to give you a strong base and a strong foundation so you can understand what's actually going on when you start doing your deep dives. So first things first, the very first thing that we're going to have to decide on is where are we going to set up our shop? Where are we going to sell our products? Now, this is a very important question and probably one of the most crucial steps because this is going to dictate pretty much everything that you do going forward. So in this case, there's going to be two different options that you can go with. One is going to be your own website where you can design everything to your liking. And the other one is going to be a dropshipping platform or an e-commerce platform. Now, what's the main difference? Well, when you create your own website, you're going to be working with platforms like Shopify, Wix, or WooCommerce, where you can completely customize your entire dropshipping store. Now, in this way, you are going to have your own website. You're going to have your own e-commerce storefront. But if you choose to go with a platform, then you're going to be working with platforms or marketplaces like Amazon, eBay, Facebook Marketplace, or TikTok Shop. Now, there are going to be some pretty big differences in between the two types of platforms. So when you dropship on your own website, one thing that you need to keep in mind is that you're going to have to guide all of the traffic to there by yourself. So there's going to be tons of different options that you have for marketing, but you do need to know that when you have your own website, nobody's going to know that it exists. Nobody's going to know that you set up your shop unless you start putting it in front of the eyes of customers. So you're going to have to put a little bit of extra, or actually you are going to have to put extra effort into your marketing. Whereas on a marketplace, like let's say Etsy or eBay, you don't have to market your products as much, even though it does, of course, still help. But people go to these platforms or these marketplaces already ready to make a purchase. So people are going on here already with something in mind that they want to buy. So in essence, in terms of marketing, you're going to have free organic traffic with a marketplace, but with your own website, you're going to have to bring in that traffic. But with that being said, fees associated are also going to be completely different on both sides. So when you're dropshipping on your own website, you are going to have to pay, depending on the platform that you're dropshipping on, you're going to have to pay your monthly service fee and credit card processing fees. But when you're working with a marketplace, you're going to have to be paying not only credit card fees, but any other fees that these marketplaces put on your listings. So take, for example, eBay. eBay is going to charge you more or less, I believe, a 13 to about 18% final sale value fee, while Shopify is going to charge you credit card fees of about 2 to 3%. Etsy is going to charge you 6% in final value fees, but then they're also going to charge you 20 cents per listing. And then on top of that, you're also going to be charged your credit card processing fees. So these are all different things that you're going to have to keep in mind and thoroughly research so that way you make sure that it fits your budget. Now, before we continue to step 2, if you want an easy to reference cheat sheet with everything that I'm talking about in today's video, make sure you stick around because somewhere throughout the video, there's going to be a code word hashtag that you're going to leave as a comment down in the comments below. And with it, you'll gain access to the sheet. It's going to have every single step listed out in order, the way that I'm presenting it to you. So if you want access to that, just stick around. All right, next up, our second step is going to be to start conducting product research. Now, this is also a very crucial step because if you don't conduct the proper product research, you're not going to find winning or trending products. Now, there's a few different options that you have for this. There's going to be free options and there's going to be paid options. Let's explore both. So to start, let's check out one of the easiest and free ways to do this, and that's going to be using TikTok. Now, this is going to be hands down probably the most efficient ways of getting started. So make sure you pay attention. Now, in order to find trending products on TikTok, one thing that you need to do is look up the hashtag TikTok made me buy it. So up here, let's run to hashtag TikTok made me buy it. And then we're going to have all of these different products in quite a few different niches. Now, this is going to be pretty much every niche that you could think of. But if you already have a niche in mind, which by the way, I do suggest you niche down. What does niching down mean? It means picking a specific category of products. Now, my suggestion is to go with something that you know. The reason for this is because if you go with something that you think is going to do well, but you don't necessarily know the niche or the category or the industry, then you might be losing out on money. You're probably not going to be making too many sales, and you might not get the best products to offer. The reason I say this is because if you know the niche, then you know what works in the industry. You know what works in that particular category. Take me, for example. I love the pets niche. Why? Because I have a dog. So I know what works with my type of dog or with dogs overall. I know what dog owners are looking for. So that's going to help me find the right products. So in this case, let's say I do want to look for something in the pets niche or the dog niche. I can just add dog after the hashtag TikTok made me buy it. And then as you can see, all of the different products now are specifically for dogs. So all of these different videos are videos that are including trending dropshipping products that are going to be for dogs or dog owners. Now let's look up something else really fast, and let's look up Christmas toys. Let's assume that we're getting close to the holidays and we want to see what's going to be trending or what currently is trending. So after I looked up Christmas toys after the hashtag TikTok made me buy it, then we have all of these different presents or gifts or just Christmas related items that people are paying attention to right now. And the best thing about this is that you're not only going to get videos that are old, you're actually going to get very new videos as well, very recent videos, which is what we want. Like this one in particular released about a month ago and it has 210,000 views. That's pretty good. That's pretty viral. Then we have a few others like this one over here. It also released around the same time, 2.5 million views. This one a little bit longer, but still 2.7 million views. So that's also another thing you want to look for. Look for videos at least on TikTok, that are recent. That's going to be the proof you need that these are popular products that are currently trending. Now, what is a trending or a winning product? Well, that's simply going to be something that has one, a wow factor, and two, can potentially add value to somebody's life. If you can make anything in somebody's day-to-day easier, then trust me, they're not going to be shy about shelling out some money to be able to purchase that product to make whatever it is easier. People pay for convenience. Now, if you do want to verify a product or a niche to see if it's worth selling, or if maybe at some point throughout the year it's worth selling, then you can also check out Google Trends. So take, for example, swimsuits. Swimsuits, you're going to be thinking these are perfect for the summer. I should be selling these during summer, right? Well, that's actually 100% wrong. You should not be selling swimsuits during the summer. You should actually be selling them around the end of the year. Now, that doesn't really make sense, does it? Check this out. So over at Google Trends, we're going to look up swimsuit. And here we're going to switch over the timeline or the time frame to the past 5 years. Now we can see a clear trend. So up here we have the peak season, which is going to be, of course, summertime, and the lowest season, which is going to be the end of the year. Now, I told you that this is when you want to start selling the products. Now, you might be thinking, but there's no traffic down here. Well, there isn't. But what you want to do is you want to catch the traffic down here while it's rising. So as you can tell right here, November, October, November, December, it's always going to be the lowest season. Whereas peak season is going to be between May to about July. The reason I say don't sell these products during May, June, July is because this is when people already have their products. Yeah, this is when people are going to be looking for them the most, but this is also when the peak is just going to go down. Everything's going to go downhill after June. So you should be filling up your stores around over here between the end of the year and the beginning of the year. So that way you can catch this wave going uphill, peaking all the way at May. And then by the time that May or June comes along, you've already been making sales for the past few months and you already capitalized on that trend. Now, when you're doing your product research, another thing that's very important to keep in mind is going to be the platform that you're selling on. So some of the products that you sell on eBay, you might not be able to sell on, let's say, Etsy. Etsy is a handmade platform. They prefer people that do things like print on demand or just simply create their own products. Whereas on eBay, you can kind of sell a little bit of everything. I can sell literally everything that I have back here on eBay if I wanted to. On Etsy, not so much. So that's also something that you're going to have to keep in mind. Make sure that the platform that you're selling on is going to be friendly to the types of products that you're offering. Now, besides that, we also have the automated version of doing this. And that's going to be using services like AutoDS. So with AutoDS right now, if you sign up, if you're not signed up just yet, you will get 2 weeks for just $1. So make sure you take advantage. And then once you're signed on, you have everything set up, then you can go ahead and check out the handpicked products section. So the handpicked product section over here is going to be just that, products that are picked by hand by expert dropshippers. These expert dropshippers have a specific criteria in mind when they're looking for these products that incorporate current trends, upcoming holidays, and any major events. So everything that you see here, people are currently looking for. There's demand behind these products. And not just that, but if you click into one of them, like let's say this one over here, you're also going to have tons of insights on whether or not this product is worth selling or not. So for one, you have an engagement score. This is going to tell you how engaged people are with this product on social media or any ads that are running with this product. Now, the saturation score is going to tell you how saturated the market is. So how many people are selling this? Is it worth the effort to sell it? By the way, quick note, in terms of product saturation, I don't think you should stress that out too much because at the end of the day, it's really how you market your product. But either way, some people prefer to go for a lower saturated product rather than a higher one, which at the end of the day, it's up to you. But don't let product saturation scare you away because Again, it's not really a real thing. It really all comes down to how you market your products. But either way, you do have a score for both of these. So the product saturation here is at 40. So it's currently at busy. It is starting to rise a little bit, but there's still lots of room for you to go in there and make sales. As far as the engagement score, it's currently at 20. So there's actually not too much on social media around this. So this would be the perfect time for you to come in and be one of the first to start making viral videos. Now, speaking of viral videos, if you don't know how to create these, then don't worry, we got you. There's also over here a social ads section. This social ad section is going to have Facebook and TikTok ads that are running with this same product. So that way you can take inspiration and create your own ads. Now, if you don't want to create your own ads, or you want to just use these and of course remix it a little bit, give it a few edits, don't just blatantly download and repost, you can go ahead and click these three dots and download the video or the ad itself. Now, as a quick little bonus, you can even use platforms like Amazon for your product research. So check this out. Here you can go to the Amazon website and under all, go to best sellers and new releases. Now under best sellers, we're going to find what's currently trending and what most people are looking for. But the problem here is that you're going to have a lot of branded items and a lot of these you can't sell. Like let's say a Yeti, we're not going to be selling that because it's already an established brand. But what we can do is look up similar products. Now there's another one right here, this Sweet Alice Gravity Electric Pepper and Salt Grinder set. I'm not sure if Sweet Alice is a brand or not, but we can definitely find a few different variations on this same product on AliExpress. So what we can do is click into this one right here and then just simply hover over the image, right click, and then search with Google Lens. Quick note, you are going to have to be using Google Chrome for this, but once you do that, just go ahead and select the image. And then on the right hand side, you're going to have this little pop-up or this little sidebar that's going to have all of these different products that are relevant or similar to the one that you just looked up. So this is essentially doing a Google search, but for images. Now check it out. Right here, we can find one on Shein and it's running for $16. How much is it here? Okay, here it's $19.99. List price is $23. And then, yeah, so we can find a few different variations of the same thing. Amazon, $20. Oh, look at that. On Groupon, it's $10. Alibaba, $8. AliExpress, $26. But why is it $26 on AliExpress? Let's check it out. So here it's for two of them. Now the price obviously doesn't add up on this part, but we can simply just look up a few more. So we can look up the electric salt and pepper grinder set, and then we have all of these different options. So you can see here we have the one that we just saw. All right, and then if you just look through a few of these, you can see this one right here. This one's running for $5.96. And if we click into it, we can see that both are selling for $10.85. Now it's a bit of a different variation than this, but it's the same product. At the end of the day, it's an electric salt and pepper grinder, which is going to do the exact same thing. My suggestion would be to offer this one and then look up a few more variations. Like if we go back, we can see that there's also this one right here. Now this one does look a lot more similar to the other one, but this is manual. So the electric is $7.53, which ultimately selling both would be under the price that you're paying over here. And of course, under the listing price. All right, so on to step number 3. Now we already know what products we want to sell or what niche we want to get into. So the next thing we need to do is select a supplier. Who are we going to be sourcing our products from? Now, for this, you're going to have tons of different people to source from or tons of different companies to source from. But a few of the most popular are going to include AliExpress, Amazon, eBay, Target, Walmart. Walmart's a really good one. DHgate, Banggood, Wayfair, Alibaba, Shein, and honestly, the list goes on. Now, the cool thing about all of the ones that I just mentioned to you right now is that they're all actually supported by AutoDS. So that way you can actually streamline your entire dropshipping process from the product importing to the order fulfillment. Now, when you are looking for a dropshipping supplier, it is very important to look for multiple suppliers. And the reason for this is because if one of your suppliers runs out of a particular product, you have others that you can go to replace that product. There's no worse feeling than getting a sale and then realizing that your supplier is out of stock. Now, this is actually another thing that AutoDS can help you out with because AutoDS does provide price and stock monitoring on your supplier side. So if they run out of a particular variation or product, then you can set it so that way your store reflects those changes. So that way you don't miss out on a sale, or even worse, you don't lose money. Now, to add to your suppliers list, AutoDS is actually also a supplier themselves. We do have a warehouse in China where we have a lot of the different products that you can see on the AutoDS Handpicked Products Hub and the marketplace. Besides that, we also work with private suppliers around the globe that can get you your products quickly. Now, to put your mind at ease, these suppliers, they have been vetted for quality. Not only quality, but also shipping speeds. So you can rest assured that your customers are going to get high quality products at some pretty fast shipping times. Now, as an added bonus, some of these suppliers even support your own branding. So your products will be shipped out with a custom thank you card and your logo printed on the invoice. All right, step 4. product page. We need to start importing our products and calculating our prices. Now, to do this, all you have to do is go to your supplier on AliExpress. So let's say we do want to import this salt and pepper grinder. What we have to do from here is start copying over all of the different details. So copy over the title, go to the description, copy over the description. Same thing goes for the images. Go ahead and start saving all of the images, and then go to your marketplace or your dropshipping platform and start uploading everything there. Now, this is also going to include calculating your pricing, and it's also going to include adding any different variations, which this can take quite a while, especially if you're doing everything manually. So if you do maybe just 1 or 2 products, it'll probably take you maybe 10, 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. If you do even more than that, maybe 10, 15 a day, then trust me, you're going to be in front of your computer for quite a few hours doing the same thing over and over. And this is all time that can be better reinvested into a different part of your business. Now, the alternative to this is a lot quicker. It's automated. So for this, all we have to do is go ahead and run to our same listing. So the salt and pepper grinder, go ahead and take the link from AliExpress, and then we can go to AutoDS, click on add product, and then let me show you the multiple products. We can go ahead here and then type in 1. Then we can press enter. We can go back to Amazon. Let's say we want to include this particular set. We can take this one as well, take the link, go back and then paste it on the second line. And then we can click add as draft, and then both of these will be added to our draft section. Now, under our draft section, this is where we're going to start to see the products that we've imported. So here we can see that the one from Amazon already uploaded. So we can go ahead and click to edit. And this is where we're going to be able to make any necessary edits. So we can go ahead and change up the title. We can add it to any collections if we're selling on Shopify. We can go ahead and change up the description. Now, the cool thing about this also is that we also have AI implemented into the website. So that's going to make creating your titles and your descriptions a lot easier and a lot quicker. Besides that, you have your different variants over here. And this is my favorite part. So if we go ahead and click to edit any one of these variations, we're going to see here that we have a essentially pricing calculator. So check this out. Our fees are currently set to 1%. Let's go ahead and change that. Let's make that 3% to align more with Shopify's fees. And then our profit is currently set at 300%, which is kind of high, but hey, got to make that money, right? Now let's drop this down a little bit. So this is going to be for 1, right? We're sourcing it for $12.52. Profit, let's do about 100%. And then our profit dollar amount, let's do that to 0. So now we can see that we can sell it for about $25.81 when we're sourcing it for $12.52. And we can take home a total profit of $12.52. Now, what I love about this is that this 3% in fees is already being excluded from the total profit. Now, let's say we want to increase our fees. Let's say instead of 3%, we're actually getting charged 5%. We can see that our sell price went up to $26.36, but our profit stayed the same. And that's because we're keeping our 100% profit. But again, the 5% in fees are already going to be taken out. So that way you never have to guess how much you're going to have to be paying these platforms. And you always know exactly how much you're going to be taking home per sale. This makes things so much easier. Now, once you're happy with your pricing, you can go ahead and click on save, or you can simply go ahead and select all of them and edit the pricing for all of them by setting the sell price here. Now, the last tab I'm going to show you is going to be the images tab, where you can go ahead and add, delete, or even edit some of these images, because we do have a built-in image editor. And when you're ready for this product to go live in your store, all you have to do is click on save and import, and it'll be live in your store within a few minutes. As you can see, it's a lot quicker to do it this way because everything's automatically imported for you. You can import 10, 15 products at a time and just go ahead and edit each one of them whenever you need to or whenever you have enough time for it. At the end of the day, it's not going to take you 10 minutes to upload one product. Instead, it's going to take you maybe 1 to 2 minutes. All right, so step 5. The next thing we need to do now that we have everything set up for stores and products imported is going to be to market these products. So the way you're going to do this is going to vary from platform to platform. Now, if you're dropshipping on Shopify, wait a minute, I just remembered I still owe you guys a cheat sheet. All right, if you want the cheat sheet, just go ahead and drop a comment down below with the hashtag dropshipping2025 and let me know your takeaway from this video. When I see that you went ahead and commented that, I'll reply back with a link to the sheet. All right, let's continue. So if you're dropshipping on your own website like Shopify, Wix, or WooCommerce, some of your best options for this are going to include Facebook or TikTok or Snapchat ads. These are going to be the most common ways to promote your products. But besides that, you're also going to have organic marketing, like making your own content for TikTok. This is probably one of your best options to go with simply because it's free. All you have to do is pay for the product and make your own videos. This is what a lot of people are opting in for now because that's what people like to see. Your customers like to see the products in action in real time. They don't want to see some generated ads or just some generic videos that are being shared everywhere. People want actual experiences. That's why I personally always opt in for TikTok dropshipping because, again, it's free. Now, if you want to check out more information on that actually, then you can check out this video right here. after you watch this video, so that way you can see what makes a viral dropshipping ad. Besides that though, another very popular form of marketing that a lot of people are starting to forget, but you really shouldn't because this is actually one of the best ways to market, is going to be email marketing. I'm pretty sure you've jumped onto pretty much any website, and the moment you get on there, you're prompted with a pop-up that tells you, give me your email and I'll give you like a 10% discount or something. That is because everyone is trying to collect your email. Why? Because email marketing is effective. The biggest companies do this. So why shouldn't you? When you use email marketing, you have a direct line to your customers. Do not slip on this. This is a very, very important thing to have. This is very effective. And again, nothing else is going to really give you that direct connection with your customers. Now, on the other side, if you're working on a marketplace, then you're not necessarily going to be doing too many dropshipping ads or too many video ads. Even though you can still definitely do it, but it's not going to be as necessary because again, people are coming to these places, to these marketplaces already looking for something to purchase. But what you can do is going to be one, run ads on the platform itself. Etsy and eBay both have ways to run ads for specific listings on the platform. But another thing that you can do is optimize your SEO and your keywords. You want to make sure that in your descriptions, your titles, and your tags, you have keywords that people are looking for. So that way, whenever anybody looks for these different types of phrases, these terms, or these keywords, your products pop up. All right, step number 6, you need to start fulfilling your orders. So once you start marketing your products, chances are you're going to start getting a few orders. Once you get those orders, you're going to need to start fulfilling those orders. And how do you do this? Well, you can either go the manual way or the automatic way. So if you go the manual way, you're going to go ahead and take your customer's information, go to your supplier, like let's say Amazon or AliExpress, add that product to your cart, check out, and instead of putting your information, put your customer's information. Now that's perfectly fine. But again, kind of like product importing, it can start to take a while if you have multiple orders to do. But not just that, you actually open yourself up by doing this manually to the possibility for human error. And trust me when I say that this has happened to me before, where my finger slips up and instead of putting a 1, I'll put maybe a 2, and that product goes to a completely different person. In which case, I have to not only replace the product for my customer, I also have to take the loss for the one that I sent to the wrong person. Now, to help you mitigate this loss, or to help you mitigate pretty much the chance of any accidents, you can also go the automatic route. And of course, AutoDS is going to help you with this. So if you use Fulfilled by AutoDS, then you're going to be using this up here, which is actually a balance that you top up. So this balance is used to make the purchase from any one of your suppliers, whether that be from Amazon, AliExpress, or any other supplier that you work with. The good thing about this too is that if you are working with a supplier like Amazon, your buyer details are never going to be touched. Most of you might know already that Amazon isn't necessarily very dropshipper friendly. And if they catch that you're dropshipping their products and sending them to multiple people, they'll suspend your account. If you use Fulfilled by AutoDS, your account is never going to be touched. AutoDS has buyer accounts for Amazon that are specific for this purpose. And the best part is that they're all Prime. So they're all going to have fast shipping. And again, you're never going to have any issues with your account. Now, once you have an order that comes in, you're going to see this right here. So for one, you're going to have your order status, which is going to tell you whether the order has been ordered from your supplier or if it's already been shipped. If it's pending, that means the order just came in and AutoDS is still working on placing that order from your supplier. Besides that, as you can see, there's every step of the way. So you'll be able to see when it was ordered, when it was shipped, and even when it was delivered, or if the order was canceled. Besides that, you have all of the information on here as well, including the price, how much you bought it for, and how much you sold it for, and how much your profit is. So as you can see, this also makes fulfilling your orders a lot easier and a lot quicker. This is all time that you're going to get back to yourself that you can reinvest into your business. You can reinvest it into looking up more products, doing more product research, or just overall optimizing your store. Now, last but definitely not least, step number 7, you need to start analyzing your store and scaling your business. This is how you're going to succeed. Now, what does this mean? This simply means that you need to start looking at what's actually selling and start offering more similar products. If you see that a certain type of dropshipping ad is working for you, create more ads similar to that one. Maybe you want to start scaling your business by selling more products or trying out different niches. This is also something else you can do. You can start opening up more stores in different niches, or even some stores that are going to be generic. You can try out different stores that vary in pricing. You can do some that are going to be more retail, while others will be more wholesale. There's a lot of different things that you can test out, but the point here is that you need to start testing things out. You need to start scaling your business, and to do this, there's a few different things that you can really start to implement. For one, check out all of your different analytics. You're going to have analytics on Shopify. You're going to have analytics on AutoDS, Etsy, eBay, wherever it is that you're selling. This information is going to tell you what's selling and what isn't. And it's also going to give you a lot more relevant information. Besides that, like I mentioned earlier, start adding more relevant products. Add more products, add different variations of the products, and maybe even add different niches. You also want to strengthen your relationship with your suppliers. And the reason for this is because your supplier, they're the ones that supply your products. You want to make sure that you are in good terms with them. A lot of the times, a supplier will hit you up and let you know that they have a new product if you're good with them. If you're just somebody that's just purchasing them every now and then and you're not really talking to them or making communication, then they're not really going to take you into consideration whenever they have anything new. So if possible, always try to stay in communication with your suppliers. This is something that is going to grow over time, and the stronger the bond, the more successful you'll be in your dropshipping business. Besides that, always set up different types of promotions for your stores. And this is going to kind of tie back into email marketing, because this is also going to be for things like, let's say, abandoned cart checkouts. So if somebody goes to your store and they add something to their cart and then they just leave, these emails are going to try to get them to come back. And one of the best ways to do this is by having people's emails. Not just that, but you can also offer them something like a 10% discount in order to make their purchase. And of course, always provide excellent customer service. If you don't provide good customer service, then people aren't going to be purchasing from you. This is from personal experience. I don't go to somebody that treats me like crap. If somebody treats me good and they answer all of my questions, then I'm willing to spend even sometimes extra money to be able to work with them or to make purchases from them. If a customer reaches out to you, do not take more than 24 hours to reply back to them. If you take more than that, chances are they probably went somewhere else and they forgot they even messaged you in the first place. So always be prompt with your replies, and of course, be friendly and courteous. Huge thank you to everyone for watching, especially if you made it all the way to the end. My name is Mario with AutoDS. I wish you all nothing but the best in your dropshipping stores. Now get out there and start hustling.